In this video, I would like to demonstrate how replan can be used to reconcile overlapping and misaligned jurisdictional boundaries. However, before I start with the demonstration, I would like to explain what the problem is that we're actually trying to solve. A good example of this problem occurs in Texas between the city of Houston and Harris County. So here on the map, we can see this is Harris County, Texas, and the diagonally shaded area is the city of Houston. Both of these jurisdictions have their own public health departments. Therefore, when it comes to either anthrax response planning or COVID-19 planning, whose responsibility is it to serve neighborhoods, people that live here? Well, technically, this is a hole in the middle of the city of Houston, so this would be Harris County. Same with here and here. Well, what about these areas over here? We can see there's little bits of the city of Houston that extend out into the county, but most of this area is actually part of the county. These holes and these little fingers that oftentimes are drawn out of municipalities complicate the assignment of populations to pods in a pod-based response plan. Therefore, for the sake of simplicity, it's often required that these types of misalignments be reconciled. For instance, it may be easier for the city of Houston to ignore that these islands exist, and then for Harris County to pretend that these little pieces of Houston don't really exist, thus resulting in a city of Houston for planning purposes that doesn't include islands and may include this entire area here, and then a Harris County that doesn't include any of the city of Houston but does include these pieces here where the small fingers of Houston extend into the county. Well, without GIS expertise, there's no real way planners can do this on their own. Now, two heavily resourced public health departments, like the city of Houston and Harris County, have GIS expertise within their offices. However, GIS is generally a shared resource in public health agencies. Therefore, planners still need to be able to reconcile these types of differences themselves. Nonetheless, most public health planners don't have GIS experience, and if they do, it's fairly limited. That's where replan comes in. So I'm going to walk you through the procedure that we'll go through in replan. So first we're going to start with the jurisdiction we would like to modify. Next, we add an overlapping jurisdiction that we'd like to cut out of the one we wanted to modify. Finally, we have the original jurisdiction with that second jurisdiction removed. At this point, you have, in replan, the option of making manual modifications before saving. Once you've saved, you're ready to continue response planning with replan. So let's do the Houston and Harris County example. So I'm in replan right now. I'm going to select Texas as my state, and I'm going to select custom regions and say that I want to create my own custom region. So this brings me directly into the custom region creator. So again, I'm going to select Texas, and here really what I need to do is select that first region, like the big blue square that I showed you a moment ago. Well, The big blue square in this case would be Harris County. So I'm going to make sure the counties is selected. And finally, I'll select Harris. And it shows me here is Harris County. Then I click Continue. Next, I'm going to select the subregion. That's going to be the overlapping yet misaligned jurisdiction. This would correspond to the red circle I showed you a moment ago. Well, that red circle in this case would be the city of Houston. The cities are basically one of what the Census Bureau refers to as places. So I'm going to say I want to select a place. Over here, I actually want Houston City. So now we can see here's the city of Houston. I'll click Continue. And here we can see Harris County without the city of Houston. Now we still have these islands that we may want to get rid of. So for the sake of simplicity, let's say that Houston will be taking all of these islands here, and Harris basically takes this entire area up here. So I'm going to actually lasso these islands with my lasso tool here by just drawing a little polygon around them. This may take a moment while it identifies which pieces of the map are actually within the polygon I drew. What's going to happen is it's going to actually select those islands. Okay, so now you can see these islands have been selected, they're highlighted, and the rest of this area is now not selected. Now the selected component here is going to be the one that I move forward with as my final shape. So really, I don't want these selected, I want this area selected. So I'm going to click the invert button here, and now I have this part of the county up here selected, which means these islands are going to go away. So I'll hit Continue. And now at this point, I'll just call this Harris without Houston example. I'll even give it a description. Finally, I hit Submit. This may take a couple of minutes. Well, it does a lot of the pre-processing work that's required to support use of this new jurisdictional boundary in the replan decision support system. Here we go. So now we have our new custom region.